Kisyuk Wisham Kisyuk Kyukit Kisyuk Quiet. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all my wealthy warriors. Welcome back to another Warrior Wednesday, coming to you from the unceded Coast Salish territories of the Musqueam, the Squamish, and the Tsleil-Waututh people. And today I want to bring it back to my very first podcast that I uploaded. It was on mindfulness. So, to recap that, let's get into some deep belly breathing real quickly so we can bring you back into this moment. So, we'll do in and out, breathing into your belly for 5 seconds. So, how do you feel after that one? That was a pretty good one, actually. Wow. Yeah, I just feel really grounded again. I feel centered. And today I want to bring it back to that topic on mindfulness and a technique that I actually learned recently when I was listening to an Abraham Hicks clip. I go off and on, once in a while I'll listen to Abraham Hicks, and she's not for everyone, but there's a lot of useful things that I actually get from listening to Abraham Hicks. And one of the things that I think everyone struggles with is the chatter in our minds. Most people will suffer from this, from that chatter, always worrying about your to-do list. Say you have a bunch of things you have to do throughout the day. And if you're not mindful, and if you're worried about what you need to do next, and you're not enjoying that moment, and then you're worrying about the next thing as you're doing that thing in the moment. So say, I get up in the morning, I'm doing my stretching, and so I'm doing my yoga. And if I'm actually not sitting there focusing on my yoga, and I'm worrying about my meditation, and then I jump into my meditation, and then I'm worrying about, getting ready for the day, and then I get in, I'm getting ready for the day, and then I'm worrying about things I have to do after work or later on in the afternoon. I'm truly not in the moment of life, and that's just creating more anxiety, and that's just going to start creating more stress, and that's going to just, that's not very good for your body, that's not good for your mind, that's not good for your overall health. And I was listening to one of these episodes on Abraham Hicks, and it was such a simple technique that when I heard it, I was like, wow, I can do that. I can simply see myself doing that. And I've been using this technique for the past week since I heard that video, that Abraham Hicks video. And when you hear what it is, you are going to be blown away. You're going to be like, wow, that's such a simple thing I can do throughout my day. You just have to keep reminding yourself this one simple thing. And once you start reminding yourself this one simple thing, your anxiety will go down, the stress will go down. You will actually be in the moment a lot longer. And I'm just like you. We all have a monkey mind. A monkey mind is something that can only stay focused on something for 5 to 10 seconds, and then boom, it's on to the next thing, and then 5 to 10 seconds there, and boom, on to the next thing. It's like when it's swinging from a branch, right? A monkey will swing from tree to tree to tree to tree to tree, and that's what the monkey mind is. It's just swinging from tree to tree to tree, and the tree is a thought, another thought, another thought. And this technique that I learned, say you're thinking about something when you're actually doing something else. So say I'm drinking my coffee, and I'm worrying about the next thing, and I'm worrying about the massive list of things that I have to do throughout the day. All I have to tell myself is, it's okay. It's okay. That's the simple little technique that you can tell yourself when you're worrying about other things, And I started to do that myself when I was getting, all riled up about all the things I had to do throughout the day, because recently, that I moved and I'm still in the middle of unpacking and setting up my place. And when I'm home on my days off, I have a ton of things to do, and I sit there and I get worried, and I start to, my mind starts to wander, and all I do is ground myself, bring myself back to the moment by breathing into my belly, and then I tell myself, it's okay. And then when it comes up again, that thought, all I will say in my mind is, it's okay. And that's all you simply need to do. When you start to worry about the future, about your to-do list or whatever, right? Things that are going to happen, things that haven't even happened yet. They might not even, things in the future hasn't happened yet. We are right here in the present, but we're always so fixated on the future or the past, It's either we're holding on to things from the past, which doesn't allow us to grow. Imagine that you had your hand out the window as you're driving, and say you were super strong, and then you grabbed onto a pole that you passed because you wanted to see it, or whatever. You grabbed onto a tree because you really liked it, and you're sitting there holding on to the tree, and you're like, oh yeah, I really love this tree. And then all of a sudden your vehicle stops and its tires are just spinning, and then they're spinning and they're spinning. Your car wants to move forward in life, but you're asphyxiated and you're holding on to this tree behind you, which isn't allowing you to move forward with life. All you need to do is simply let go of the tree, and then the vehicle will start to drive forward again. But we're either, we never ever live in the present moment of life. And that was one simple little thing that I've been telling myself daily. It's okay. Something pops up in my head and I'll say, it's okay. It's okay. And I just simply keep doing that throughout my day, and it gets easier. And I've noticed that my mind isn't so worried about my to-do list, because I know it's okay. It's either going to get done or it's going to get done tomorrow. It eventually will get finished, right? And that's all you need to do, is reassure your mind it's okay. Because the mind is so complex that it can't tell the difference between reality and, fiction. You can't tell the difference between non-fictional and fictional. So when you tell yourself it's okay, your mind's going to be like, oh, okay, it's okay. it's okay. I don't have to worry about that. It's okay. We can move on to the next thing. And then you just tell yourself it's okay. And your mind will be like, whoa, okay, well, I guess I don't have to sit here and focus on this and put my energy on this moment. It's okay. I was just told it's okay. So we'll carry on with the future. We're letting go of that tree so we can drive forward. And when I heard that, my mind was just blown away on how many years I had spent worrying about the future, worrying about getting my list of my things to do done. And when I just started to say it's okay, it got super, super simple. And I was just like, whoa, imagine how many people this simple thing would help. So I want to challenge you this week, honestly, when you start to have that monkey mind, when you start to get, wrapped up in your to-do list in the future, when you start to get that a little bit of anxiety coming up in you, if you have anxiety, if you're someone who suffers from that, all it is just your imagination running wild. And if you start to tell yourself it's okay when you breathe into your belly, remember you have to breathe into your belly to notify that your brain also that you're not in a fight or flight mode. Breathe into the belly and tell yourself it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. And that's all you simply have to do. Just keep reminding yourself it's okay. And start to notice how you feel after you tell yourself. I guarantee if you're like myself, you're going to feel more calm. You're going to feel more, in the moment. And you're not going to be so worried about the future. And that's, practice. It just takes daily practice at this, It felt good when I first started doing it. But as I kept doing it and doing it and doing it throughout the days, I noticed that my body wasn't so stressed out. It wasn't so tense, right? So that's what you need to do too, is just remind yourself it's okay. And it's so simple. It's one of the most simplest things you could tell yourself to move forward without anxiety or stress. Yet it's so challenging because 8 out of 10 people are going to forget about this technique that listen to this podcast. Maybe only half the people that are listening are actually going to try it truly, because it's our limiting fears, and there's just a bunch of factors with that play in on that. But I highly recommend that you start doing this. And I really want to give you a 1-week challenge until the next Wealthy Warrior Wednesday, Warrior Wednesday. I want you to start telling yourself it's okay when things start to pop up. And I want you to actually sit down at the end of the day and reflect on how you feel after you tell yourself that. Because we can't see true growth until we actually measure ourselves on where we were before, right? Because right now, I can give you an example of that. I'm on a cut now. I bulked all the way up to 185, and now I'm starting to slowly cut the process of my weight, 0.5 of a pound per week. And 0.5 of a pound per week is not very, it's not significant where you're going to notice it at all. The first couple pounds you won't notice at all. And the thing is with weight loss and weight gain and working out is you are always one of the last people that will notice that change, because you see yourself every day. You're with yourself every day, every second of your life. So it's a lot harder for you to see that change than someone else. And I weigh myself on Sunday mornings. And last Sunday morning, when I weighed myself, I was down to, I think it was 176. So I went from 185 to 176. And it was kind of crazy because people at work some people at my job site hadn't seen me for a couple weeks. And one guy was like, whoa, he's like, did you lose weight? Like, he's like, wow, you can really, like, he's like, you can see it in your face, you lost weight. I'm like, yeah, I'm down 9 pounds. And he's like, yeah, you can really tell. And then another guy too, he was also like, wow, you've lost some weight, man. I can really see it in your face. And, you know, throughout my journey, if I wasn't checking in with myself every Saturday morning on weighing myself, I wouldn't see the results. So I would have felt defeated the first 3-4 weeks into it, right? I would have just gave up and said, oh, this is silly, you know, this isn't for me because I can't see the results. But I was weighing myself and I was gradually losing that 0.5 a week, right? The 0.5 pounds a week. And that's how I measured my progress. And that's what kept me disciplined to keep going and doing what I was doing and eating the meals I was eating, because I couldn't physically see a difference because I'm with myself all the time. And that's the same goes with you. You will not notice your change unless you take a week, you know, once a week, one day of every week to reflect and to see your progress. And if you're trying to do the weight loss journey like I am doing, stick with it. And I want to suggest this one simple thing, is that you only weigh yourself in the morning after you use the washroom on an empty stomach. That will be your true weight. Your true weight is the very first thing in the morning when you have no food in you, no water, nothing in you, you just use the washroom. That's your true weight. And I learned that from one of my personal trainers that I had, a coach that I had when I first started working out, is that's when he told me I need to weigh myself. Because you think about it, if you go eat a big meal and you drink a bunch of water or whatever, your weight's gonna change depending on the time of day and the size of meal you ate. So if you do it first thing in the morning, you haven't had anything to eat, you will know your weight. And that's what I do. I weigh myself Sunday mornings before I've had water or anything. And that's how I know that I'm progressing to my goal. And the same goes with you. You have to sit down and look at your results to see if they're working. And if they're not working, that's okay. You just go back and revamp what you're doing, and then you try again, and then you go back and look. And if that doesn't work, then you just keep revamping until it eventually works. You know, it's like the whole light bulb theory. You know, it took Thomas Edison over 999 tries to invent the light bulb or something like that, because there's different stories now, there's different theories on the whole light bulb thing. I don't really care about that. I just want to break it down to just simple terms, that it took Thomas Edison 999 attempts to create light. Isn't that pretty? You know, that goes to show that he just kept trying, and he would revamp and then try and revamp and try, and then you just got to keep revamping until something eventually clicks and something eventually works. So keep telling yourself it's okay. When a thought pops up, it's okay. A thought pops up, it's okay. Breathe into the belly, it's okay. It's okay. You know, it's okay. I don't know how many times I have to say that. I still have to say it because it's a practice. I said it earlier today. It's okay, because I was thinking about going to the gym, and I was all worried about it. I was like, it's okay, and I will eventually get there. And yeah, after I do this podcast, I'm gonna go hit up the gym, and I just have to tell myself it's okay. So with that, I'm done for the week. You know, I'm gonna go hit up the gym, a light workout. It's better late than never. You know, always opt in for the gym, even if it's a half-fast session. Go work out, do something, go for a walk, go for a run, get that blood flowing, get those endorphins running, start to feel better about yourself, and that'll also help with this practice, right? So with that, I'm gonna say Sukani on Winnegit, Dagas, and remember, everything always happens for the right reasons. See you next Wednesday, my warriors. Take care.